Welcome, ZSR, fellow nerds, fans, all those words for cool people that you are. Welcome to ZSR on this Easter Friday that I'm not even sure how it's called in English, my bad. The German pronunciation of this one wouldn't help you, but that's fine. Let's just go over to the streams anyways. Let's say we go over to the layout and let's say hi to Romulus and Miax. Hey, welcome.
Welcome.
Yo.
Alright, we're pretty much good to go and we'll start in just a tiny bit. Just like a few seconds actually. That's all it is. And then we're good to go. Sorry for the slightly lagging feed on Alice's side. This is on her and nothing I can influence. But yeah, enjoy the run. We'll start in a few seconds and enjoy commentary by Miax and Romulus.
Okay, and it's on.
One thing that's funny is Anwonu created the file before the race, and that saves. I don't remember. It's a little bit more than half a second, but since Alice is using NTR, they started pretty much at the same time. So far, nothing major happening. They're just gonna follow Gully.
They quit the house at the pretty same time.
So here's the first Weather Vane statue, which they are actually forced to save. So, yeah, if they aren't doing any safe saves, this will be the only save they will actually make for this run.
Normal times. In a race, maybe they will save a few times later.
That's actually fine, it's safe there, because after they beat the first dungeon, they will actually acquire the ability to warp around. So they're going to use it to come back to Link's house later. It's gonna save time anyway.
In fact, on Hyrule, we'll just awake four Wither Vane, I think.
Yeah, they're gonna get the Kakariko Weather Vane here, because... No, actually they get two other Weather Vanes. This one and one by Witch Souls, because they're gonna have to go all the way to the east of Hyrule and then come back to the west, so it's a lot faster to just warp. And now instead of delivering the sword, they are going to head to Death Mountain, and it's usually blocked by some rocks, which you would require to have a strength upgrade, but you can just use a damage boost to just reach the loading zone, which Anwonu just did.
At least step too far on the... Too far and she fell. Okay, it's the first time thing. So.
Yeah, she got it. And on their way out, it's
Oh,
It's kind of good if you get some rupees from pots or killing the Moldorms, because they actually need 10 rupees by the time they die, so they can rent the bow.
she's pretty lucky. But oh,
Oh no! Oh, that's really bad.
oh, that's rude.
That's really bad for Alice
Oh, yes.
as well. Because
And
the thing is, oh no, she died. That's a really bad start for both runners. I would say that is actually worse for Alice because since Anwonu got out of the cave, he actually got to activate Raviel's shop, but he doesn't have the rupees. So I guess it's okay because he can get one item for free, which is gonna be the Fire Rod, which costs 100 rupees. But he will also want to rent the bow here, so he's gonna have to probably leave and gather some rupees. I don't think he activated the Weather Vane, did he? No, I don't think so. They would have activated the Weather Vane so they could warp back to Death Mountain later. But anyway, he's just gonna have to walk there. But as for Alice, he got 10 rupees, but she died before she left the cave, so Raviel's shop was still closed. Which is really unfortunate. So she's gonna have to go back to Death Mountain. Let's see. It seems that Anwonu is going. I don't know what's doing.
He died too? Just focused on Alice's screen?
I'm not entirely sure what just happened, but we had an entire reload, so let me quickly check. Yeah, if you lost the game feed, just refresh.
It's good for me.
Okay.
I think Anwonu just died too.
What's going on?
It's a pretty weird race start.
I'm not sure myself because the feed just froze here.
Okay, I have the.
Yeah, just reload in that case.
Oh, let's see what's going on now. It seems that Alice just got the Weather Vane and died. Now she just has to rent either the Tornado Rod or the Fire Rod. I don't know which route she's using. And as for Anwonu, he got the Weather Vane and he's dying now. And he just lost it. Oh my god.
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he went back to Death Mountain. He could just have gotten. Oh my god. I'm not sure what's going on.
Oh, he can't. Oh no!
Okay, let's try to understand what happened here.
In fact, I think by I don't know what to say that in English. A reflex. he ran the fire rod, but he has lost it on his death.
So Anwonu could have just gotten some rupees from the brushes, but he went to Death Mountain, got 10 rupees and died. And when you die after you rent an item, you're gonna lose it. So he just lost his free item rental, which was the Fire Rod, which is really bad. But Alice, I don't know, she just reset her game, so she's back to.
Alice didn't have any item, so the. Oh. Wow. I don't understand this race start. It's pretty confusing me.
Well, it's a very unusual start. Anyway, she's going back to Death Mountain again. And going to do the Power Bracelet skip. As for Anwonu, he's just going through the sewers to reach the end of Sanctuary. And he wants to get 50 rupees here. Actually, I don't even know because he lost his free item rental. He's probably gonna have to get 100 rupees later. I'm not sure what's the best option here.
Since she doesn't know that Anwonu got a death too, I think she's thinking that she's far way behind.
She still needs 5 rupees, and she only has half a heart, so it's a little bit scary. Oh, never lucky.
Okay, should be good. Why? I think I will just I don't know. It was on slow way, I think.
So after completing the Sanctuary, Ravel's shop was supposed to actually open. So now we have 2 Ravels. And by opening it early, it actually allows you to skip a bunch of stuff in the early game, like having to go to the Hyrule Castle to talk to Zelda, going to Kakariko and stuff like that. It's also gonna skip a few things before entering Eastern Palace. Like, you usually have to go there and see that you can't progress, so you have to go back to Ravel's shop, but it's not gonna be anything like that because he already has the bow. And also, before entering the dungeon, there would be a cutscene with one of the sages, but it's not gonna be there. So yeah, he's getting the Tornado Rod here because it's actually useful for the first dungeon. You can use it for the boss key skip. Oh, everyone's getting weather veins. It seems like they are really scared of dying. Or maybe, no, I think Anwonu is going to use it to get some rupees here later. That could be it.
Anwonu is not confident on his Tornado Rod?
No, he just got the weather vein, did not save. I wasn't paying attention. I saw Alice getting Sanctuary's weather vein as well. I'm not sure if she saved. Anyway, he's just getting some rupees here because he's gonna have to rent almost all of the items by the time he gets the Master Sword.
And he will need some extra rupees seems as the fire rod thing.
I think he's probably gonna get the 5 reds before Eastern when he gets the hammer later. So here he's setting the boss keys keep up by using that Armor's Knight. Oh, he forgot to equip the Tornado Rod. After you get hit, you have a few frames of invincibility, so he's going to use the Tornado Rod, and then the Armor's Knight is going to push him as he's up there, and it's just gonna land on the ceiling. And after that, he just walks to the loading zone. Now let's see. Yeah, it seems that Alice is going for the hammer route because she got the Tornado Rod first. So as for the Yuga fight, you just have to stun him with the arrows and then use the sword. If you try to get too close, it's just gonna warp away. So one thing between the two routes is when you get the fire rod early, it's actually faster by 8 seconds overall, but it also makes it so you have to rely on rupee drops later because you're lacking rupees.
Okay, so
he's getting the purple rupee there.
The purple.
We usually don't get that rupee, but this is not your usual run, so...
It wasn't in old strat.
Yeah, so one backup it would be getting the 5 red rupees that Alice just got. And let's see if she gets the early cycle here. You can actually take damage and abuse your invisibility frames to get past the bigger cannonball. But you actually have to be really fast on the first 2 rooms. Otherwise, it's not even gonna matter. Let's see. Anwonu is probably gonna get the hammer and the bombs. And after watching this cutscene here, you can actually get another item slot by going to west of Link's house to get Kiwi's Adventurous Pouch, but it's not really worth going for, because later you get the ability to use Quick Equip, which allows you to equip items without having to pause, so having an extra item slot is not really that important. Let's see, I always failed the boss key skip. Okay, she got it. It's not really easy. Sometimes everyone starts struggling with this trick. And now that Anwonu saw this guy running away, he can just warp to Kakariko without having to enter the cave. And the smooth gen is going to be there for him to buy. So as of now, normally he would only need 150 rupees to get all of the items, but since he doesn't have the fire rod yet, he's gonna have to get another 100 rupees.
This fire rod thing. Really?
Oh, he also got the Pegasus boots, which, unlike A Link to the Past, when you stop running, it actually has a small slide animation, and it's really useful for some parts because that slide allows you to actually skip a few gaps. And here he's going to use a bomb really close to the pillar and use the tornado rod. And as the bomb explodes, it's gonna boost him to the second floor. If you were to just walk up the stairs normally, there would be a cutscene, which is still gonna be there once he gets the Zora flippers, so he has to be careful when leaving. Okay, he got the river rupees.
It's 26 more rupees for after. I think in the next 2 dungeons, you will have it.
Well, let's see where he's going to get them. I'm not really sure where would be the fastest way. He'll probably have to go for a chest or something because he needs 250 by the time he gets to the Master Sword.
250?
Yeah. Oh, he's going for the fast strat here.
Oh.
You can get some rupees from doing this, and it's actually maybe 7 seconds faster, but it's kind of hard because you have to walk out of the into the void there as the platform is coming, and you have to use the tornado rod before you void out. If you do it correctly, like he just did, you can actually get on top of the platform. If you fail it once, it's fine because it's pretty much even with the normal method of crossing this room.
To be honest, I don't use this faster method.
Right there, you can just use the tornado rod to get the key on the beam without having to merge. And now he's gonna use the tornado rod just to manipulate that key's movement, and by using the tornado rod at that specific spot, he's gonna get hit and get boosted to the loading zone, skipping having to activate the fan. Here, another use of the Pegasus boots, you can actually just dash slide cancel and just cross the gap. One thing that happens when you open Ravel's shop early is that you skip the stamina tutorial, so although he has stamina, it's not showing, so he has to manage it. He's basically just gonna use bombs for this fight to damage both the body and the eye of the boss. So whenever he feels like he's running out of stamina, he's basically gonna fall into the void, because you can actually refuel your stamina completely by doing that. It also works if you fall into the lava, for example.
This is arriving on the skip thing.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. It's not hard compared to the same trick we have to do in Tower of Hera. This one is a lot easier. Oh, and she failed.
The pillar got us. Pillar got us in the right positioning.
I feel like if you place the bomb that way, it's not gonna work.
Yes,
Try.
it's better here.
You usually want to place it right in front of you. I'm not sure about the timing because it's kind of laggy.
She could go on the conversation here.
As for this cave, you normally would have to leave and enter the other side, but you can just dash across that gap and cancel the dash animation before you fall off again. And if you're doing it first try, you can just get past the boulders before they start getting in the way.
I think the fish kid cutscene is about 20 seconds.
Yeah, it's something like that. I'm not sure. So after getting the small key, Anwonu is going to do the same trick that Alice was trying to do right now. It's gonna place that bomb, raise the platform, and use the tornado rod.
Oh.
It's probably one of the hardest tricks in the run right now because it's only like a 2-frame trick.
Yes, it's a 2-frame window.
So you can actually try it 2 times. After that, you have to wait for your stamina to refill. And meanwhile, Alice is going to House of Gales. Okay, Anwonu got it. Now he's just gonna use the tornado rod to go up a bunch of floors. Here he's bonking against the wall because he's gonna have to use the tornado rod 2 times in a row, and if you don't have enough stamina, you're basically gonna fall back to the floor you were. So he has to refill it completely. Was it 3rd try or 4th?
4th, I think. If I see well. I saw well, maybe. Oh.
Let's hope she gets some hearts here, because House of Gales is a place where you can take a lot of damage, and it's really scary with just 1 heart.
Oh.
Oh, you can get a heart in the wall. Forgot about that. Now, as for the boss, you just want to use the bow and arrow because it deals 2 points of damage instead of 1 compared to the Captain's Sword.
Normally it's 3 arrow and 1 slash.
Oh, and there's the first monster part. It seems that Anwonu is skipping the Hero Heart container. If you get the heart container, then a cutscene will play, spawning the pendant. But if you just jump off and climb up back again, basically it's going to spawn the pendant right away, which should save a little bit of time depending on where you are after you finish the fight. If you are too low in the arena, then it's basically even. Maybe it doesn't even save time. Now she's going for the fan skip. It seems like a good position, and she got it. But she only has half a heart. Yeah, that's really scary. Because if she falls trying to skip the platform, yeah,
and it's
that
good.
happens. And she's dead, and she's gonna lose all of her items. I'm not sure if she saved before House of Gales. I don't know. Let's see.
I'm checking the IRC. Oh.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Anyway, she has enough money to buy stuff.
There's no item.
I'm not sure if she knows about the.
Yeah, I think she just realized.
Yeah, there's a backup that people have been using a lot this tournament for some reason. People are just dying. You just rent the bombs and get the Lake Highway gold rupee, and she should be fine after that.
After that, and the tornado rod, please. I think she didn't realize it yet. Oh. What's she doing? Oh no. Okay. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure where she's going. I believe she knows the backup. It's just that she doesn't know exactly how to get there.
She should have gone for the okay. I think she's searching the 300 rupees.
Yeah, now Anwonu is going for more money. Because he still needs 50 rupees to rent all he needs.
Oh.
Oh, there's a silver rupee there. Okay. I honestly had no idea.
Okay, I think now Alice could rent the missing items.
Yeah, it should be enough for everything, I believe.
She has 500? Should be good, yes. She has already the bombs, so yes, it's 15, 50, 100, 150.
Except
Yes.
for the bow. I think Ben said that it's just easier to get it after you get the Master Sword. Or after Hyrule Castle, I don't remember. I don't think she's going to be able to get it run.
And it's really annoying because she will need it for the Tower of Terra.
Actually, you don't really need it. It's just useful for the
Faster.
boss fight.
Mhm.
It's not gonna work.
Or maybe by the left?
No, I think Ben said it's not possible to get it before finishing Hyrule Castle. You don't really need the bow to finish the game, by the way. Okay. If you do Rival Shop early, you could just use the hook shot instead for that stuff. That would require a bow. Anyway, Anwonu is now the Hyrule Castle, just waiting for Impa to come back. It's kind of messed up because it's like two states of the castle together right now. You have evil and good guards. And he actually has to get the Pendant of Courage from Zelda to proceed. But instead, you're going to get the pendant from a red soldier, which
Just
doesn't
realized.
make sense.
She was going for the full strat. Muscular memory.
This ball chain guy here, you basically slashing 3 times and use the ball just to reset. Otherwise, he's going to block and try to attack you. Also, after leaving Ravel's shop, he also acquired the quick equip ability, and now he doesn't need to pause anymore to equip items. And it's also useful because you can cancel the animation upon using an item, which makes things just a little bit faster, and it's also going to be extremely useful for a few skips later. Oh no, she only has half a heart again. No, she died again.
She should have gone for the casual thing. In fact, just the tornado rod to get on the other platform.
Yeah, you should just play safe at this point and do it normally. The dash slide there doesn't save that much time. It's not really worth going if you are with such a low health. So I'm not sure what she's going to do.
Yes. She just
Yeah,
forfeited for the race.
Yeah, sadly, Ellis decided to forfeit, so, yeah, oh well. And instantly quit as well. Alright.
Well, not really sure how it's going to be. Should Anwonu finish?
Yeah, he needs to finish.
Okay, we're still doing average time. Okay.
Diffy for fight?
Anyway, for the second Yuga fight, you basically have 3 images of himself, and you can tell which one's the real one by looking at the scepter. And also finish the fight during the second phase with 2 spin attacks. So it's going to be with 2 cycles instead of 3.
I call axe.
Well, now that he's done with Hyrule, yeah, he's basically gonna has I don't remember. Let's see, 7 dungeons left. I'm not even sure anymore, dude. Let me check. Even though I run this game a lot. Yeah, 7 dungeons. I knew it. And he's going to start by doing Swamp first. And as I mentioned during the Hyrule Castle segment, since he has Quick Grip, now he can actually cancel the animation. And that's really useful when you're using either the Ice Rod or Fire Rod, because for the Ice Rod you could use the Ice Block to just clip out of bounds, and the Fire Rod you could use the Flame to boost yourself out of bounds as well. So here the runners have 2 options. They could either skip the boss or the boss key, being skipping the boss harder but faster. And not only that, they normally would have to buy a big bomb or steal it just to drain off this water, but they can just use the Ice Block to clip and reach the loading zone. Okay, so he's going for the boss skip. And he got it second try.
Pretty nice.
They have to clip twice here. And the first clip is actually the hardest one. So second try is actually really good. Yeah, see, he got it first try for the second one.
This one can be pretty tough also.
Now he's basically going out of bounds behind the boss room. And what's gonna do is, it's kind of precise here. He has to position himself. He's going to swing like that. It's going to be into the wall, and he's basically just going to walk to the loading zone. If you were to be too far forward, he would just clip into the boss room and he would have to fight the boss. Otherwise, he would fall into the void and would have to do the second clip again. It was a really good swamp.
Yes. I hope you will get a really good Desert Palace skip too. Without doing an EDS then.
If you were to even enter the dungeon, you would need the Sand Rod, which it's only available for rent after you finish Thieves' Hideout. But with the Quick Equip cancel, he could just do a bunch of stuff in Misery Mire and simply reach the area where the portrait and the heart container are. So he clips right there.
Should have backup the it.
Oh, and he got the monster part. That's really unfortunate because usually that guy is going to die really close to the edge or close to the wall. And if he drops the monster part, you have to get it because it's going to get in the way. So he's just going to try to boost himself. Oh, he fall.
It should be
It could happen.
I think it should be a little on the left.
Everyone has their own setup for this. And it's scary. It's getting really scary for him as well because he only has 1 heart and a half.
It's a save.
So he's saving just to make sure he doesn't die.
Please, Anwonu, we believe in you.
He has 2 tries left. He has 1 try left.
Oh,
He's gonna have to reset. No.
oh, maybe he's going for the
He's gonna get some. He'll just try to get some hearts there, but seems like
he's going to the ferry.
But yeah, this race had a really unusual start. I recommend. Anwonu died after leaving Death Mountain Cave, and he did not have 10 rupees nor got the weather vein. And Alice died in the cave, and she had 10 rupees, and I don't know, it was a really weird start. Okay,
Yes.
he got it.
Please don't fall, please don't fall.
Now it basically has to do a dash slide to reach where the portrait and the heart container
Yes, good.
are. You don't even have to kill the boss. Boss is a thing we skip. So next is going back to Hyrule because some parts of Laurel you can't really just access. So he has to go back to Hyrule and enter a portal, which he's doing right now. And next is doing Ice Ruins. Normally he would not use this portal to get to the dungeon because you would have to go through Rosso's or mine. But he can do a damage boost here and just kind of clip into the ropes. And then he'll be allowed to use the hook shot like that to just get to the other side.
Skipping an Hilda dialogue on the thing.
Yeah, and also skip Hilda's text. I completely forgot about that. Oh, it seems like everyone's going for the Tornado Rod strat here that saves half a second. When you merge in this game, it actually freezes the actors around you. And by merging and emerging, you lose half a second, so you can actually just use the Tornado Rod instead of merging. It's free, but if you fail it, you would have to start all the way from the entrance. That strat doesn't suck, it's easy and free, everyone should go for it.
Does the risk worth the try?
The trick is watching the heartbeats. As soon as the second platform arrives and stops moving, you should just pay attention, and after the fourth heartbeat, you just use the tornado rod. And now he just needs to be careful because the enemies here could just hit you and make you fall off. That's also really bad. But he's fine, he got it. It saves time because if you merge, whenever you're merging with the wall, it kind of freezes the actors around you. "15 frames each time you do it." So for Ice Ruins, he's just gonna try to clip into the wall as the elevator is going up. And after that, he's going to do a dash to get on the wall from the floor below. He has to do the dash really fast because otherwise he's just gonna clip in bounds again.
I don't like this one because of the ice monster.
Yeah, and he just falls to the arena. And since he fell on the upper part, the boss fight doesn't start, but the actor of the boss is still there, so he just needs to use the fire rod twice to kill it. Yeah, there were multiple deaths, actually. She died, and when you die in this game, it's, at least for the run, because we just rent all the items, is really bad, because you lose all of them, so she just decided to forfeit. And meanwhile, Anwonu is going to Skullwoods. It's a dungeon that basically consists of enemies, movements, RNG at the start, and right at the end there are a few tricks you can actually do, like skipping, getting one eyeball for the boss key, skipping the boss, stuff like that.
It will be a 4-4 bosses skipped after Skullwoods.
Yeah, like here, if that Gibdo just walks to the left, you could just skip the 5-bar cycle. Now here, another room that has a few enemies that could get in your way. It's basically a time loss from having to stop to hit them or just burn them away. And of course, you have to be really careful not to die. So for this next room, you would have to solve a puzzle placing 2 statues on the switches just to make the walls expand, but if you place just one and you are fast enough, you could actually use the tornado rod before a wall master appears, and you could just cross to the other side. It's really RNG dependent because you basically rely on the enemies not getting in the way when you try to push the statue. But he got really lucky. And guess what? More enemy movement. Was a really decent fight for him, because the Moldorms basically just went his way. They could just get stuck in one of the corners of the room.
Yes, it was pretty clean.
Here, instead of just using the platformer merging into the wall, he just used a dash to reach the chest. Luckily, there are a few heart drops right after this fight here. And it's kind of wise to get because since he's skipping the boss, there will be no heart container. And having sword beams for the next area, it's really helpful. And it's so much stuff going on that I forgot to mention that you can actually grab that eyeball back before it gets stuck on the pedestal, instead of going all the way to the bottom part of the room and getting the other one.
This trick is my nemesis.
Now he's just gonna use the tornado rod as soon as the boss attacks, and he's going to clip into the loading zone.
I think this skip has been discovered. I believe even before the game released. 1 or 2 days before the game released.
She had to forfeit. Alright, coming up next is the Dark Palace. So right before the dungeon itself, you would have to cross this maze, which has a bunch of guards that if they see you, you're going to jail, basically. But there's a way to skip most of it. Here he wants to manipulate this enemy here. He's going to take damage from him, stun him again, and abuse the invincibility frame so he can just kind of clip on top of the railing right there. So he just walks past the guard and he's right at the end. As for Dark Palace, there's not much like you can do about it. It's basically glitchless. So he's just going to solve the boss door puzzle, get the boss key, and fight the boss. And he got stuck because it's too dark.
It's a blindfolded run.
Wait, is that? It's actually the first boss fight, right?
Yeah, fight a boss in low rule.
And that's the last eye. So now he's just going to get the boss key. Normally, you would need to use the platform, but you can just throw bombs over the wall. It's a lot faster, but sometimes it could just like either fall off or just clip, and
Yeah.
you would have to throw another one. Also, he made sure to get that stamina jar because for the boss fight here, he is going to use a bunch of bombs in a really short period of time. So he needs to refill it somehow, and it's just like better this way.
Is to place 3 bombs before the boss spawn.
Since he also wants to like do the equipment. If you were to get the stamina jar, you would cancel the quick equip menu, and that would be bad because if you're not fast enough, Gemmisar is basically going to start walking around, and it's really annoying. Which could also happen for the second phase. Let's see if he's going to behave. No, Anwonu. When he just stands right there, it's actually the best RNG you could get. I think he could have finished the fight without taking damage. It's really rare to happen. You would normally expect that he would like try to attack you, but that start right there was really good.
We're already at 5 dungeons completed.
So to reach Turtle Rock, you would normally have to go back to Hyrule as well, but if he leaves the Dark Maze, there is a way to reach the Turtle Rock area by using a Fire Rod boost. Except that Hinox could get in your way, and you, depending on where he's standing, oh, that's really bad as well. He had to get that monster part because he would have to walk exactly where it was standing. And here, to enter the dungeon, you need to save, I believe, 3 turtles, but if you get really close to the dock right there, you can just kind of store the animation of climbing up, and you could just use it right there. Oh, it seems that he's going for the 5-bar skip. I almost got it. Anyway, he's going to use that Whiz Robe right there just to take damage and click into the this upper area right here. And that skips the boss key. Using the Whiz Robe's flame is actually really easy compared to the old boss key skip, which used the bomb, and it was, I think it was frame perfect.
Pretty much frame perfect, yes. Oh, okay.
He had a really good opening because sometimes when the fight starts, you just hit it once and it gets under the gratings, and it's impossible to hit him unless he cooperates and go back to the holy. And now he's having a really bad RNG from the get-go, because Radix here can do 3 attacks. Could either jump back like that and try to bite, use a spin attack, or use this explosion attack here. If he does the spin attack, you could just take damage and you would cancel the animation. And now all that's left is Thieves' Hideout, which normally in a casual playthrough without using glitches, you would have to complete it as one of the first dungeons, because to beat Desert Palace you need the Sand Rod, which only becomes available after you beat the Thieves' Hideout, because the Sage is holding it and he got captured. But since we are using glitches and there's only Thieves' Hideout left, after you beat all 7 dungeons here, there would be a cutscene playing in the Sage Chamber, which would allow Link to get the Triforce. But since you beat Thieves, you get the Sand Rod back, so both cutscenes would be overlapping with each other, So after getting the sand rod back, the blue warp will appear, so you could just leave. And that's a lot faster than just watching all the sages giving the Triforce to Link. So yeah, for this part he just needs to save Thief Girl and then backtrack all the way to the entrance. He'll be doing a clip here to get to the floor, to the basement basically. But he needs to solve this puzzle to open the door, because when he's coming back from the basement with Thief Girl, he can actually clip through closed doors, but Thief Girl can't, so she would just get stuck. And that's why he has to open the door. And it's also fine that he's taking damage, because having full health for the mini-boss fight is actually bad. He'll be facing 3 red Igors, and they will only be vulnerable for a small amount of time. And what happens is, you want to hit all of them with your sword that deals 2 points of damage. If the sword being were to hit you, it would only deal 1 point of damage. And he would not be able to finish it in 2 cycles. So here he is going to... Oh, he missed the bomb. You could just use a bomb or use the ice block to hit that switch. And that's the last door he needs to open for Thief Girl. She forfeit... Wow. He fell. I think he was too far up. Well, I think he's just going to do it the normal way. Right there, he just needed to dash to reach the mini-boss room. So let's see what's going to do next. Anyway, she had to forfeit because she died. And now he has full health. It's bad. While Thief Girl is following you around, you can't really dash. If you do so, she's basically going to stop. And that's useful because you have to place her on the switches to open the doors and stuff. And pressing L just to start a dash is actually useful here. Instead of... it's just faster than just talking to her to make her stop following you.
There's some part where she can fall off, and you'll have to pick her again.
Right there, he skipped a cutscene where a bunch of enemies would have spawned if he had touched the lower red platform. Killing the rat just to be sure, because sometimes, depending on where the enemy is, he could just knock you off all the way to the floor below, and he would have to bring Thief Girl from her cell again. He's gonna place 2 bombs, because while he's busy killing one of the Zazacs, the other one's going to take damage from both bombs. So for this tall blind fight, he's going to use the hammer as much as he can, because not only the hammer deals 3 points of damage opposed to 2 of the Master Sword, it also hits the boss twice, so it's the fastest way to finish the fight. Alright, right here he could either do a spin attack or a vertical slash. Okay, that's not good RNG. And 2 more hits left.
And it's good.
And here it is. After getting this sand rod, the blue orb is just gonna appear and he could just leave. I think you're still able to get the Triforce of Courage, but it would soft lock your game, if I'm not mistaken. People actually have managed to clip into the small house, but you need Thief Girl because there's no loading zone. You don't soft lock, okay. There's no Triforce. I think someone said there was, so I never tried to check, but I know that you can go up the stairs because they are there. Yeah. Alright. Let's see. It seems that he is also going to make a safe save here. Although at this point it doesn't really matter. He has enough money to buy all he needs to finish the game.
Yes. pretty much the bow and the bombs.
Yeah, basically just need the bombs at this point, but the bow just makes everything so much faster. Alright, so here is the same thing as the ball chain soldier from the Ivory Castle. It's going to attack 3 times with the sword, then use the arrow to just reset the fight. Otherwise, he would block and attack Link. And Anwonu has successfully acquired all monster parts. So in the bomb trial, you can actually go out of bounds and reach the big door loading zone from behind. He's doing the alternate trial skip method, which is really easy regarding to timing, but it's kind of precise regarding the positioning.
In the middle of this yellow line.
If he's not too low, he could have done it like 5 times already. Let's see. Yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah.
If done really fast, it's actually faster than the old strat. But use 3 hearts with the green mail opposed to just half heart from the small bomb. So it's kind of a trade-off. So for the Yugenon fight, you basically just want to use the bow as much as you can because it deals the same amount of damage as the Master Sword. Wow. Was it 5 red thrusts already? Wow. He's just giving the same attack. It doesn't... Wow, he still got hit by that slash. Well, anyway. Second phase or cycle, I don't know. I'm not sure which strat Anwonu is going to use. Can actually manipulate him by shooting an arrow. It's either gonna make Yugenon throw his spear or... Oh no, he died.
Oh no.
RIP. Well, that's why he made the safe save.
Just have to pay respect.
And this time he's not going with the Triforce of monster parts. He's going to be weaker for the fight. Alright, here we go, trial skip.
Again?
And no hook shot, what a beast.
He got the rhythm.
So here we go, Yugeno, round 2. There's the first red thrust. There's the second red thrust. Oh, and he got hit. It deals 5 hearts of damage. It's really scary. Alright, so he's trying to manipulate the next movement of Yugenom. He paused there because I think he was about to equip the Tornado Rod just to be safe.
So it was good.
No!
No, when you know.
Oh my god. That was a really close one.
He's playing with fire.
We just watched desperate actions. Try to keep himself alive. Alright, he's done with this phase.
He's playing with the art.
Now, for the second phase, he's going to play tennis with Yugenom.
Very much.
He's staying against the wall because he's going safe. Whenever, if you're not moving, if you like deflect the energy ball, Link's gonna get pushed back, so staying against the wall is a good idea because the timing is basically going to be the same for every hit. So after he finishes the cycle here, there's gonna be a bunch of red butterflies. Actually, they are purple, but anyway. And they're coming from every way. And I think if he gets hit, it's going to be insta-kill.
I don't know if it's 2 or 1.5. 1.5 hearts.
I think it's 2 hearts. If not, it's just 1. I'm not really sure.
The best case, he has only once, one chance. He tried to do the quick turn.
I'm not sure. Oh, okay, it's just 1 heart.
It's 1 heart.
Alright. Okay, that's
safe.
okay. Good. Yeah, he's playing safe, he's sticking to the wall like that, just waiting. It's slower, but it's fine. It's not a big deal.
And now he can mash. It's a GG.
All right, so all that's left is survive the endless battle against none other than the Triforce.
The corridor.
Hey, we got a finisher! Hooray!
And it's a GG.
GG. GG to Anwonu, finishing with an official SRL time of 1:36:45. That's it. GG. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Anwonu.
I'm glad someone finished. It was a really rough race.
It was really tough.
It worked out though. So yeah, we are trying to get Anwonu in. Before we already move over to the interview screen, I want to give a big shout out to Miox and to Romulus for doing the commentary today.
You're welcome.
It was fun.
So let's
Learned
switch
a
over
lot.
to the interview screen and let's wait for Anwonu to join. So yeah, as you see, Alice actually quit quite early, like 40 minutes into the race, not into the seat. And yeah, GG still to Anwonu. Waiting for them to join the stream. Also, why does A Link Between Worlds have such amazing music? Like, holy. Yeah, well, still waiting for anyone to join. Until then, I can quickly give you an overview of what already has happened. If you want to check the bracket sheet that we have, you can see the current tournament information where we see that Alice is actually on 1 win and only 1 win, and Anwonu is now on 2 wins. I'm not even sure if that's actually up to date. And it froze. There he is. Welcome, Anwonu. GG.
GG. Oh, okay.
And rip.
You didn't want to be interviewed.
And here was I expecting to hear his voice.
All right then. Then we'll just postpone the interview to the next restream, I guess. When oh no,
He
he got back. Let's try this again. Hey. Hey. Say something.
I think it will be the postponing.
Okay, I guess we'll just... Yeah, it's fine. I guess we'll just postpone it to the next stream then. Thanks everyone for watching, and I want to give another shout out to MeX, to Romulus, and to the winner of today, to Anwonu. And that's it. If you want to watch more stuff on ZSR, we'll be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. At 5 p.m. UTC with another OTR accessible tournament race between Spike Vegeta and Mr. Engineer 124, the Breath of the Wild 80% weekly, and then later the OT Randomizer weekly. I'm not entirely sure if there's something else scheduled for us tomorrow, but I believe not. Sunday, however, is absolutely packed. Until then, thanks everyone for watching, and see you all later.
See you later.
See you later. And he's back again.